Your mind is the battlefield where every victory or defeat in life is decided. Before anything happens in your reality, it happens in your head. Every action, every decision, every breakthrough starts as a thought. But here's the truth. Most people are walking around with a mind that's completely out of control. They let fear dictate their choices, doubt paralyze their progress, and negativity poison their potential. And they wonder why they're stuck. They wonder why success feels so far away. The mind is a tool. It can work for you or it can work against you. If you don't master it, it will master you. Most people live in reaction mode, reacting to problems, reacting to circumstances, reacting to the opinions of others. They let their emotions drive their decisions, and as a result, they keep getting the same results. They say they want change, but they don't change their thinking. They want success, but they fill their mind with limitations, and then they look at their life and say, why isn't anything working for me? It's because they haven't taken control of the one thing that controls everything, their mind. You've got to rewire how you think. You've got to program your mind to work for you, not against you. That means recognizing the patterns that hold you back, the excuses, the limiting beliefs, the stories you tell yourself about why you can't do it, why it's too late, why you're not good enough. You've got to stop entertaining those thoughts because they are shaping your reality. Whatever you focus on, you feed. If you keep feeding doubt, it will grow. If you keep feeding fear, it will consume you. But if you start feeding belief, feeding confidence, feeding the vision of the person you want to become, everything changes. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. Most people don't even realize how negative they are. They wake up already thinking about what could go wrong. They tell themselves, I'll never get ahead. I'm not lucky like other people. Nothing ever works out for me. And they wonder why they keep struggling. They don't see that their thoughts are planting the seeds of their future. If you keep telling yourself you can't, you won't. If you keep telling yourself you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. But here's the good news. Just like you trained your mind to work against you, you can retrain it to work for you. It's not magic, it's not some secret only a few people know. It's a choice, it's a commitment. It's about deciding that from this moment forward, you will take control of your thoughts. You will reject the negativity, reject the self-doubt, reject the fear, and replace it with certainty, replace it with faith, replace it with an unstoppable mindset that says, no matter what comes my way, I will find a way. You've got to condition your mind daily. You can't just hope for a better mindset. You have to work at it. Just like you train your body in the gym, you have to train your mind to be strong. That means controlling what you consume. Who are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you reading? Because whatever you feed your mind will shape your reality. If you're constantly filling your head with negativity, news, gossip, toxic conversations, don't be surprised if you feel drained, anxious, and overwhelmed. But if you start filling your mind with things that build you up, powerful books, inspiring people, bold ideas, you'll start to think differently. And when you think differently, you act differently. And let's talk about fear, because that's what stops most people. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Fear is a story your mind creates to keep you small. Most of the things you're afraid of will never even happen, and even if they do, so what? Failure is just feedback. It's just a lesson. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count, but they didn't let fear win. They didn't let doubt dictate their future. They mastered their mind, and because of that, they mastered their life. You have the same power. You have the ability to rewire your thoughts, to take control of your emotions, to silence the doubts that have been running your life for too long, but it's up to you. No one is going to do it for you. No one is going to wake up and decide to change your thinking for you. That's on you. And the moment you take full responsibility for your mind, everything shifts. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, and you start creating. This is where real transformation begins, because once you master your mind, you set yourself up to master everything else. Your words are either building your future or destroying it. There is no in between. What comes out of your mouth isn't just noise, it's a declaration, it's a command. It's telling your mind, your body, and your entire life what direction to move in. Most people have no idea how much power they're giving away just by the way they speak. They talk about their limitations, their problems, their failures, never realizing that every word they say is reinforcing their reality. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, I'm broke. I'll never lose this weight. I always mess things up. Nothing ever goes right for me. They say it like it's a fact, like it's just how life is. But what they don't see is that their words are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. They keep speaking failure, and guess what? They keep living failure. They keep speaking struggle, and struggle keeps showing up. It's not coincidence, it's cause and effect. Your words shape the way you see yourself. The way you see yourself shapes the way you act. The way you act determines your results, and your results reinforce the words you've been saying all along. It's a cycle. If you don't change your language, you don't change your life. You can have all the talent in the world, but if your mouth is working against you, you will never break through. You've got to become hyper aware of what you say, because your subconscious mind is always listening. Does it know the difference between a joke and reality? You say, I'm so stupid, even if you're just messing around, and your mind registers it as truth. You say, I'm not good enough, and your actions will start matching that belief. But the opposite is also true. If you start speaking strength, confidence, and certainty, your mind will rise to meet it. You tell yourself, I always find a way, and suddenly your brain starts looking for solutions instead of excuses. You say, I'm built for this, and you start showing up differently, more focused, more determined, more unstoppable. Look at the most successful people on the planet. Do they walk around saying, I'm not sure if I can do this, I hope things work out, I'll try? No, they speak with absolute certainty. They say, this is happening, I will find a way, nothing can stop me. And because they speak it, they start believing it. Because they believe it, they take massive action. Because they take massive action, they get massive results. That's how the cycle works. Now, some people will say, but I don't want to lie to myself. What if I don't feel confident? What if I don't believe in myself yet? Listen, your words don't just reflect your reality, they shape it. You don't wait until you feel strong to start speaking strength. You speak it first and the feelings follow. You don't wait until you succeed to start saying, I am successful. You say it now and your mind starts aligning with it. And it's not just about how you talk to yourself, it's how you talk to others. Some of you are surrounded by people who are constantly negative, constantly complaining, constantly tearing others down. And if you're not careful, their words become your words. You start absorbing that energy, that mindset, and before you know it, you're speaking the same way. That's why you have to protect your environment. You have to surround yourself with people who speak life, not limitations. People who challenge you to think bigger, speak bolder, and step into your power. And let's talk about what happens when you speak about your dreams. Too many people kill their own vision before it even has a chance to grow. They say, I want to start a business, but what if I fail? I want to get in shape, but I've never been able to stick with it. They attach doubt to their goals and then wonder why they never make progress. Stop doing that. Speak your dreams with conviction. Declare what you're going to do as if it's already done. I am building a successful business. I am in the best shape of my life. I am making an impact. Speak it into existence, because here's the truth. Your words are programming your future. They are planting seeds in your mind every single day. And those seeds will grow whether you like it or not. The question is, are you planting seeds of success, confidence, and belief? Or are you planting seeds of doubt, fear, and failure? You can't afford to be careless with your words. You can't afford to speak anything that doesn't serve your future. So from this moment on, you commit. You commit to speaking like the person you're becoming. You commit to eliminating weak language from your vocabulary. You commit to using your words as a weapon for your success. Because when you master your mouth, you master your destiny. Money is either your greatest tool or your greatest trap. It's either working for you, giving you freedom, power, and opportunities, or it's working against you, keeping you stuck, stressed, and controlled. And the difference between the two, it's not luck, it's not the economy, it's not where you were born or how much you make. It's your mindset. It's how you think about money, how you talk about money, and most importantly, how you manage money. Most people are living in financial survival mode. They wake up every day worried about bills, paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about not having enough, and they think the answer is more money. If I just made more, my problems would be solved. But that's a lie, because making more doesn't fix the problem. Learning how to control it does. How many times have you heard of athletes, celebrities, lottery winners making millions only to end up broke a few years later? They didn't control their money, it controlled them. Money has rules, and if you don't know the rules, you will always be on the losing side. The first rule, stop treating money like a mystery. Money is not emotional, it's mad, but most people attach so much emotion to it: fear, guilt, shame, even arrogance. They spend to impress people, to fill an emotional void, to escape reality, and then they wonder why they can't get ahead. You've got to take the emotion out and start treating money like a tool, because that's what it is, a tool to create freedom, to create impact, to build the life you want. You have to tell your money where to go or it will disappear. Most people don't track anything. They don't know what's coming in, what's going out, where it's going, and that's exactly why they feel like they never have enough. Money flows to people who respect it. You've got to become intentional. Where is every dollar going? Are you spending on things that actually move your life forward, or are you throwing it away on things that give you nothing in return? And let's talk about debt, because debt is a chain wrapped around too many people's necks. And listen, there's a difference between using debt strategically and being a slave to it. Most people are in the second category. They're drowning in car payments, credit card bills, loans, spending money they don't have on things they don't need, trying to impress people who don't even care. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. If you're in debt, your number one priority has to be breaking free. Because as long as you owe someone else, they own a piece of you. They own a piece of your choices. And if you don't have financial control, you don't have full control of your life. So what's the solution? First, stop making excuses. Stop saying, I'll start saving when I make more, or it's just too hard. No, it's not. It's a decision. It's a commitment. It's about learning how to make your money work for you instead of working for your money every single day of your life. You need a plan. You need to know exactly how much you need to live, how much you need to invest, how much you need to put toward your future, and then you need to stick to it no matter what. The most successful people don't just make money, they multiply it. They don't spend everything they earn. They put their money in places that grow, investments, assets, businesses, because they understand that the goal isn't just to make money, it's to create wealth. Wealth gives you options. Wealth gives you power. Wealth allows you to live life on your terms. And let's be clear, money is not evil. Money is not the problem. The problem is how people use it. Money amplifies who you already are. Who you already are, your emotional health, who you are as human, who you are. If you're irresponsible, more money will make you more irresponsible. If you're disciplined, more money will create more opportunity. So instead of chasing more, start learning how to manage what you have. Start developing the habits that will allow you to grow. Because if you can't handle $1,000, you won't handle $100,000. And if you can't handle $100,000, you'll never handle $1 million. You've got to shift from being a spender to being an investor. Everything you do with money is an investment, either an investment in your future or an investment in your problems. You have to start thinking long term. Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? Are the choices you're making today with your money moving you closer to that future or further away? If the answer isn't closer, it's time to make a change. This is not about how much money you make. This is about how much money you keep, how much money you grow, how much money you control. You either master your money or it will master you. Excuses will keep you exactly where you are. They are the chains that hold you back from the life you want, the life you were meant to live. And the worst part, most people don't even realize they're doing it. They've been telling themselves the same stories for so long that they actually believe them. I don't have enough time. I'm not lucky like other people. I don't have the right connections. It's just not the right moment. Sound familiar? Excuses are the lies we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. Because let's be honest, growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. But if you're not willing to step into that discomfort, you'll never move forward. You'll keep repeating the same patterns, living the same struggles, facing the same frustrations year after year and wondering why nothing is changing. Nothing changes because you haven't changed, because you're still giving yourself permission to stay stuck. It's easy to look at successful people and think, well, they had it easier. No, they didn't. They had obstacles, challenges, failures, just like you. The difference is they refused to let those things become their excuses. They decided that no matter what, they were going to find a way. And that's the decision you have to make, because until you take full responsibility for your life, every part of it, you will always be controlled by your circumstances instead of creating your own destiny. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you take back control. That's when real change happens. But first, you have to recognize the excuses you've been holding on to. Some of them are so ingrained in your thinking that you don't even question them anymore. You've accepted them as truth, when really they're just convenient ways to avoid taking action. Maybe you tell yourself you're too tired to wake up early and work on your goals, too busy to exercise, too broke to start that business. But are those really the reasons? Or is it just easier to stay where you are than to push yourself to be more? You have to decide what you want more, your excuses or your results, because you can't have both. The minute you stop blaming your circumstances, your past, your situation, and start owning your choices, that's when the game changes. That's when you stop waiting for things to get better and start making them better. You stop wishing for success and start doing what it takes to create it. Think about the most successful people in history. They all had reasons to quit. They all had obstacles that could have stopped them. But they made a choice to push through, a choice to refuse to accept anything less than their best. And that's what separates them from everyone else. Not talent, not luck, not connections, just the refusal to let excuses win. It's time to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself. Instead of saying, I don't have time, start saying, I make time for what matters. Instead of saying, I'm not lucky, say, I create my own opportunities. Instead of saying, I'm not ready, say, I'll figure it out as I go. That shift alone changes everything. Because when you change the way you speak about your situation, you change the way you approach it. And when you change the way you approach it, your results start changing too. Every single person who has achieved something great has faced moments where they could have made an excuse, they could have quit, they could have accepted their limitations, but they didn't. And neither can you. You have to want your success more than you want your comfort, more than you want validation, more than you want the easy way out. Because let me tell you something, the easy way out always leads to the hardest life. But the hard road, the one where you push through, where you take responsibility, where you refuse to settle, that road leads to freedom. So ask yourself right now, what excuses have you been using? What stories have you been telling yourself that are keeping you small? And more importantly, are you willing to let them go? Because once you eliminate every excuse and commit fully, nothing can stop you. Your environment is shaping you every single day. Whether you realize it or not, the people you surround yourself with, the conversations you engage in, the things you watch, listen to, and consume, they are either lifting you up or dragging you down. There is no neutral. Everything is either reinforcing your growth or reinforcing your limitations. And if you don't take control of it, if you don't intentionally shape your environment, it will shape you in ways that keep you small, weak, and stuck. Look around at the people in your life. Are they pushing you forward, challenging you, making you better, or are they holding you back, feeding your doubts, reinforcing your excuses? Because I promise you, if you spend enough time around people who complain, who settle, who make excuses, you will start doing the same. Not because you want to, but because that's how human nature works. We adapt to our surroundings. We mirror the energy we're exposed to the most. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, by people who focus on what's wrong instead of what's possible, it will start influencing your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions. You need to surround yourself with people who force you to level up, people who are thinking bigger, doing bigger, and living bigger than you are right now. And I get it. Sometimes that means making tough choices. Sometimes it means distancing yourself from people who have been in your life for years, maybe even your whole life. But you have to ask yourself, is this person helping me grow, or are they keeping me comfortable? Because comfort is the enemy of progress. And if you're serious about changing your life, you have to be willing to let go of anything or anyone that is keeping you from becoming the person you were meant to be. And it's not just about people, it's about everything you consume, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the videos you watch, the conversations you have. If you are constantly feeding your mind garbage, news that fuels fear, social media that makes you compare yourself, entertainment that numbs you instead of inspiring you, then don't be surprised when you feel stuck, unmotivated, and lost. What you put in is what you get out. If you want to be powerful, if you want to be disciplined, if you want to be successful, you need to start feeding your mind things that reflect that. You can't expect to grow if you're constantly exposing yourself to things that shrink you. You can't expect to feel confident if you're always listening to people who doubt themselves. You can't expect to become successful if you spend your time with people who have given up on their dreams. It doesn't work that way. You have to be intentional. You have to create an environment that fuels your growth. And let's be real, this isn't always easy. Sometimes the biggest changes you need to make will be the hardest. Maybe it's cutting off a toxic friendship. Maybe it's setting boundaries with family members who don't support your vision. Maybe it's changing the way you spend your free time, walking away from distractions, breaking free from the things that have been keeping you comfortable but unfulfilled. It's not easy, but it's necessary, because every second you spend in an environment that doesn't support your growth is a second you're delaying your potential. If you want to change your life, start by changing what's around you. Put yourself in rooms where people think bigger. Seek out mentors, role models, people who have already achieved what you're striving for. Absorb their mindset, their habits, their discipline. Read books that challenge your perspective. Listen to people who inspire action, not just motivation. Create an environment where success is the only option, because here's the truth. Your environment is either making you stronger or making you weaker. And if you want to win, if you want to break through, you have to take control. You have to eliminate anything that doesn't serve you, anything that keeps you small. You have to make the hard choices, do the uncomfortable things, and surround yourself with everything that reinforces the future you're building. The moment you control your environment, you control your future.